There we go. The terrifying things are coming down. There they are. Hidden. The frog. AI. Oof. The big boys. How do I...
Charging up.
What the frick is going on? Okay, one down. One down. Oh shit. Nope, that was painful. Garrus, Garrus. Garrus. You're not standing in a good place to be standing at. Ouch. Garrus, I told you.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
All patched up.
Okay, -1. Garrus is okay. Where's the last one? Shoot him in the foot. Okay,
Perimeter secured.
good.
Remember to stay hydrated.
Oh, I need that voice line. Give me that voice line.
I thought Palaven was hot.
Are you talking about me? I should find that voice line. What class am I playing as? What class am I playing as? Infiltrator. As usual. Although no, not as usual. I tried different ones at different times. I need to make a memo. Memo. Find Garrus voice line. Hydration. Never played that before? Interesting. I think a lot of people choose it because of the sniper life. Sniper rifle combination. I think it was one of the first ones I've tried out. Other than that, it's the one that combines the biotic abilities with tech abilities, is the one I also like. I think I tried most of them besides the melee one.
Nothing but rocks, dirt, and lava. Reminds me of home.
Oh my god, keep pressing wrong button for the steel armor. Show up, so. Played in the original Snap Angel wasn't used. Ah, true.
Charging up.
That is true. It's pretty nice in the Legendary Edition. If you can freaking aim! Which sometimes I can't. Sometimes my aim... He scared me. Sometimes my aim just out of the window.
We got them all, Shepard.
Through the window, through the wall.
I've never visited a Prothean ruin before. Aside from the Citadel, I mean.
Wouldn't call Citadel a ruin. But I know what you mean. Give her the follow.
Sterile light. Protheans sure build things homey.
You think? Improvised elevator music. To the window, to the wall. Don't fold. Probably shouldn't shoot them until they spawn. Let's be honest.
Hello?
Hello?
Could somebody help me?
There she is.
Please?
Maybe. I might be able to help you.
Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
Are you okay? What happened to you?
Listen, this thing I'm in is a Prothean security device.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot move, so I need you to get me out of it, all right?
Okay.
How did you end up in there?
I was exploring the ruins when the Geth showed up, so I hid in here. Can you believe that? Geth beyond the veil.
Oh yeah.
I activated the tower's defenses. I knew the barrier curtains would keep them out. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please.
Your mother is working with Saren. Whose side are you on?
What? I am not on anybody's side. I may be Benezia's daughter, but I'm nothing like her. I have not spoken to her in years. Please, just get me out of here.
We just need to figure some way past this energy field.
It's a Prothean barrier curtain, I knew it would keep me safe from the Geth. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please.
There is your romance choice 90% of time. I understand. But sorry, we're going with Garrus this time. We have to. Better turn on.
We'll find some way to help you.
There is a control in here that should deactivate this thing. You'll have to find some way past the barrier curtain. That's the tricky part. The defenses cannot be shut off from the outside. I don't know how you'll get in here. Be careful. There is a Krogan with the Geth. They have been trying different ways to get past the barrier.
I think personally, Garrus and Tali are my top choices for romance.
Now it gets fun.
Does it? Where is it? Where's the last one? Tali's a great one, yeah. I love Tali romance. The way Tali romance is written, I really like it a lot. Hear you.
This'll help.
Will it? Nothing done.
All targets down.
Thank you. Give me. Thank you. Kinda like Miranda wrote too, but her save and then complete third game. True. Miranda, yeah. I think that's also why I don't really like Liara. Because in the second game you kinda get a glimpse of her in her new position. Like all three romances from the first game. Well, not really all three, but like all three people who you kinda can romance in the first game are out in the second one. So you have to like... Well, you do get Liara in DLC a little bit, but if you take out the DLC, for example... Oh yeah, this one. Huh? I was pressing buttons very randomly. I kinda feel like with Garrus, Tali, it's the most complete story if you talk about romances, because you meet them in the first one, you get to know each other, then you start the romance in the second one, and then you get the very like emotional culmination in the third one. Without all the drama of, oh, you switch sides, as you get with the human romances. Or the whole break in the second one, because you kind of have to either not romance anyone in the second one, or just romance someone else and then go back to... They're the only ones that stick with you to the end. Exactly. That's why they're kind of canon in my head. They basically stick with you from the first game to the last game, to the very, very end. Where's this device?
How did you get in here? I didn't think there was any way past the barrier.
We have to get you out of here before more Geth arrive.
Yes, you're right. I've seen enough of them to last a lifetime. That button should shut down my containment field.
But I do feel like the Bible itself kind of considers Liara the canon romance. Garrus with Talia is also good. Yes, I agree. I do agree.
Any idea how we get out of this place?
There is an elevator back in the center of the tower. At least I think it's an elevator. It should take us out of here. Come on! I still cannot believe all this. Why would the Geth come after me? Do you think Benezia's involved?
Saren's looking for the conduit. You're a Prothean expert. Obviously, he wants you to help him find it.
The conduit, but I don't know.
What the hell was that?
These ruins are not stable. That mining laser must have triggered a seismic event. We have to hurry. The whole place is caving in.
Joker, get the Normandy
Joker.
airborne and lock in on my signal. On the double, mister!
Aye, aye, Commander. Secure and away. ETA 8 minutes.
On the double, mister.
I'm dying here, I'll kill him.
I like the Rex's tail. It's fascinating. That feels like they've kind of forced Liara route. Yeah. I'd agree. Ooh, hello, boys.
Surrender. Or don't. That would be more fun.
In case you didn't notice, this place is falling apart.
Exhilarating, isn't it?
Exhilarating. I
Thanks for
agree.
getting rid of those energy fields for us. Hand the doctor over.
Nope.
Whatever it is you want, you are not getting it from me.
She'll stay with us, thanks.
Not an option. Saren wants her, and he always gets what he wants. Kill them. Spare the Asari if you can. If not, doesn't matter.
Okay, never mind. No, ship. What did I see? Never mind. Okay, one down. The other ones are not. Oh, I thought you were down. He's down for the second time. On the double, mister. The run animation.
Too close, Commander. 10 more seconds we would have been swimming in molten sulfur. The Normandy isn't equipped to land in exploding volcanoes. They tend to fry our sensors and melt our hull. Just for future reference.
You don't say.
We almost died out there, and your pilot is making jokes?
Joker pulled our asses out of there. I think he's earned the right to a few bad jokes.
I see. It must be a human thing. I don't have
It's
a
a
lot of
Joker thing.
experience dealing with your species, Commander. But I am grateful to you. You saved my life back there, and not just from the volcano. Those Geth would have killed me or dragged me off to Saren.
What did Saren want with you? Do you know something about the conduit?
Only that it was somehow connected to the Prothean extinction. That is my real area of expertise. I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
Just how old are you exactly?
I hate to admit it, but I am only 106.
Damn! I hope I look that good when I'm your age.
A century may seem like a long time to a short-lived species like yours. But among the Asari, I am barely considered more than a child. That is why my research has not received the attention it deserves. Because of my youth, other Asari scholars tend to dismiss my theories on what happened to the Protheans.
I've got my own theory on why the Protheans disappeared.
With all due respect, Commander, I have heard every theory out there. The problem is finding evidence to support them. The Protheans left remarkably little behind. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved.
Oh yeah.
It is like someone came along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues. But
If
here
you
is the
ever
incredible
knew.
part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked down every scrap and shred of evidence. Eventually, subtle patterns start to emerge, patterns that hint at the truth. It is difficult to explain to someone else. I cannot point to one specific thing to prove my case. It is more a feeling derived from a half-century of dedicated research. But I know I'm right, and eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations before the Protheans. This cycle has repeated itself many times over.
If the Protheans weren't the first, then who was?
I don't know. There is barely any evidence on the Protheans, even less on those who came before them. I cannot prove my theory, but I know I am right. The galaxy is built on a cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before. Their greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the technology of those who came before them. And then, like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
They were wiped out by a race of sentient machines, the Reapers.
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this? What evidence do you have?
There was a damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions. Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No wonder the Geth attacked Eden Prime. The chance to acquire a working beacon, even a badly damaged one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear. I am
special like that.
amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed, Commander.
This isn't helping us find Saren, or the conduit.
Of course, you're right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me. Unfortunately, I do not have any information that could help you find the conduit, or Saren.
So what good are you?
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
Maybe.
And her biotics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you, Commander. I am very grateful. Oh, I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
When was the last time you ate, or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It is probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Protheans' true fate. I need some time to process all this. Still, it could not hurt to be examined by a medical professional. It will give me the chance to think things over. Are we finished here, Commander?
Yep.
We can talk again after you've seen the doctor. The rest of you, dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Sure.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
We've received your report,
Fun.
Commander. I understand Dr.
Fun.
Tassoni is on the Normandy.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
Liara's on our side. The Geth were trying to kill her.
Benezia would never allow Saren to kill her daughter.
Maybe she doesn't know.
Or maybe we don't know her. We never expected she could become a traitor.
True.
At least the mission was a success.
Apart from the utter destruction of a major Prothean ruin. Was that really necessary, Shepard?
The Geth were crawling all over those ruins. We were lucky to make it out alive.
Disconnect.
Of course, Commander.
Hang up and
The
then.
mission must always take priority.
Good luck, Commander. Remember,
Maybe
we are
once.
all counting on you.
Alright. Thank you for stopping by. Have a great rest of your time zone, day, night. Whatever it is for you. I'll go talk to people. Do a stream every day? Not every day, but 4 or 5 times a week, I think. I do sometimes switch between games though.
Commander, do you have a minute?
Of course.
I always make time for my officers.
Off the record, I think there's something wrong here. This Saren is
Alright,
looking
see you
for
next
records
time.
on some kind of
Bye-bye.
galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. I mean, it's
Maybe.
funny, we finally get
You're
out
kinda
here
right.
and the final frontier was already settled. And the residents don't even seem impressed by the view. Or the dangers.
Well, well. You're a romantic. Did you sign on for the dream, Malenko? Secure a man's future in space?
Yeah, I read a lot of those books when I was a kid, where the hero goes to space to prove himself worthy of a woman he loves.
Ooh.
You know, for justice. Or maybe I was a romantic in the beginning, but I thought about it after brain camp.
Brain camp.
Biotic acclimation and temperance training. I'm not looking for the dream. I just want to do some good. See what's out here. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the
Definitely.
brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
No internet? In your timeline?
Then you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. Like you, I guess.
Adam.
Ma'am?
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. Anyway, this was supposed to be a casual debrief, not a bull session about stuff that happened years ago.
I wanted to get to know you a little better, that's all. Thanks for the talk, Caden.
Well, you're welcome, ma'am. You, make a habit of getting this personal with everyone?
Of course, but I don't enjoy it with everyone. We'll talk again later.
I'll need some time to process that, Commander.
And I'll need to be very careful not to flirt with you.
I'd like that.
How's our patient, Doctor?
The Asari are remarkable, aren't they?
Mom.
Can you believe Liara is twice my age?
What are you? Are you 50?
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Why can't I respond to her? Hi, Liara. How are you?
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
You must enjoy something about it.
I love my work. Seeking out history's lost secrets has a special appeal for me. You were actually touched by working Prothean technology. That is why I find you so fascinating, Commander.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's
not better.
Even worse.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and
Just
computers.
a dork.
I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals.
I'm sure.
My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
I wonder if it's not that I really wonder, but I think it's not really like metaphorical about the part of them living in. There's a part of them lives in us. Probably when they meld, they literally take a part of them to keep inside their mind. However, does it actually occur? Path of your soul, an imprint of your personality or psyche or whatever it is.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner.
I
Though
know.
I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
That would be weird.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own
Exactly.
species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our
Exactly.
homeworld. Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood, though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face. It is a great insult among my people. It is
Great
possible
insult.
Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
They definitely added that line afterward.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
I should go. Oh my god. Every time my game stutters, I get scared. Let's do the rounds. Let's read what we have new. And then I'm also gonna end for today.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
A lot of
Good.
confidence.
He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have if I thought it was important.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. Couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Shepard.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be fascinating.
I forgot about this.
I don't think she's used to teasing, good-natured or otherwise.
No
Ashley's
fun, Commander.
a character.
Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was hoping to get a minute of your time. Off the record.
I keep an open-door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, I mean, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
You get a pessimistic view of the universe, Williams.
A pessimist is what an optimist calls a realist. Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human.
Oh, she's
It's
so
not
racist.
racism, not really.
Yes, it
Members
is.
of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
I come from a military family, too. My parents were both Navy. Anybody in your family we might know?
Couldn't say, Commander. We probably have a lot in common. You join up to carry on the tradition?
No. The future of humanity is out here. There's so much we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. I still remember my first field exercise on Titan. When we hit mud, the reality hit me. I'm the first person who ever stood here. Then my drill instructor kicked me in the ass. I went face first into the muck. He spent the next 5 minutes chewing me out for gold breaking.
Don't tell me you had Gunny Ellison. He's the only one who uses that word to describe shirking duty.
The smiles. The
You
smiles.
went to the Makapod boot camp too? Yeah. Gunny Ellison's still reaming out recruits down there, kicking ass and using
Both
words
of them
like
look weird
inveigle
smiling.
and pusillanimous.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, ma'am. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
CG certified.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
Alright, I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're gonna have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It
Nod.
won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
Don't you dare, it's my turn.
I don't think kissing Turians will be necessary.
Oh, yes,
You
it
never
will
know,
be.
Commander.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a C-Sec officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers.
This lightning is not
Wanted to fight
flattering.
Justice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was C-Sec, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a C-Sec man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre.
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it.
He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, C-Sec's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should. I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks, Commander.
Think about it.
Something I can do for you, Commander.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place.
Homesick?
The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing.
Oh.
Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have till it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them. But maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually. But we have to stop Seren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
Very wise.
I should go.
See you later.
Just realized I forgot to talk to the most talkative person. Let's do that. Equipment first, though. $109, $115, $108. $3 is fine, fine.
Looking for supplies?
Yes.
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
Pistol ammo. Pistol, shotgun, shotgun. Assault rifle, me too. Grenade upgrade. Thermal plating. Chemical. Sing. Now let's see what you have. Expensive but curious. These are way over my head for now. Oof. Interesting. Interesting coloring. Interesting. Everything. Dun, 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 dun. Joker. We've got a bright purple armor next time we're going out. Apparently. It didn't look purple, it looks silver as a box in the store. I look at the box and one was like the animal print we have right now. Camouflage, I'm sorry, not animal print. And I thought, well, it's the same as we're wearing now. Let's buy the other one that looks just normal silver. And it turned out to not be silver. Hi, Joker.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my medal. Figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those.
I'm sorry.
Okay, even with put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you know, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
I have to go.
All right, see you.
Yep. Lots of reading for us, which we're gonna do now.
Yes, Commander?
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Carry on, Presley. Correct. Lots.
The Asari were the first species to discover the Citadel.
When we're fine here, go here.
In the early 2160s, the Alliance began aggressive colonization of worlds in the Skyllian Verge, much to the dismay of the Batarians, who had been developing the region for several decades. In 2171, the Batarians petitioned the Council to declare the Verge a zone of Batarian interest. The Council refused, however, declaring unsettled worlds in the region open to human colonization. In protest, the Batarians closed their Citadel embassy and severed official diplomatic relations with the Council, effectively becoming a rogue state. They instigated a proxy war in the Verge by funneling money and weapons to criminal organizations, urging them to strike at human colonies. Hostilities peaked with the Skyllian Blitz of 2176, an attack on the human capital of Elysium by Batarian-funded pirates and slavers. In 2178, the Alliance retaliated with a crushing assault on the moon of Torfin, long used as a staging base by Batarian-backed criminals. In the aftermath, the Batarians retreated into their own systems and are now rarely seen in Citadel space. After the Geths secure a location, they round up and impale dead and living bodies on mechanical spikes. The spikes rapidly transform these victims into withered husks. Thresher maws are subterranean carnivores that spend their entire lives eating or searching for something to eat. Threshers reproduce via spores that can lie dormant for millennia, yet are robust enough to survive prolonged periods in deep space and atmospheric re-entry. As a result, thresher spores appear on many worlds, spread by previous generations of space travelers. The body of a thresher never entirely leaves the ground. Only the head and tentacles erupt from the earth to attack. In addition to physical attacks, threshers have the ability to project toxic chemicals and emit bursts of infrasound as a shockwave weapon. The Alliance first encountered threshers on the colony of Akuz in 2177. After contact was lost with the Pioneer team, Marine units were deployed to investigate. The shore parties were set upon by hungry threshers, and nearly the entire assault force was killed. Alliance forces recommend engaging threshers with vehicle-mounted heavy weapons. The Citadel is Citadel space is an unofficial term referring to any region of space controlled by a species that acknowledges the authority of the Citadel Council. At first glance, it appears this territory encompasses most of the galaxy. In reality, however, less than 1% of the stars have been explored. Even Mass Effect FTL drive is slow relative to the volume of the galaxy.
True.
Empty space and systems without suitable drive discharge sites are barriers to exploration. Only the mass relays allow ships to jump hundreds of light years in an instant, the key to expanding across an otherwise impassable galaxy. Whenever a new relay is activated, the destination system is rapidly developed. From that hub, FTL drive is used to expand to nearby star clusters. The result is a number of densely developed clusters, thinly spread across the vast expanse of space, connected by the mass relay network. Pharos is a habitable. There are between 200 and 400 billion stars in the galaxy, and less than 1% of them have ever been visited or had their systems properly surveyed. Humanity's early expansion into the Attican Traverse was haphazard, a desperate race to claim habitable planets where populations can be economically settled. Ignored in the wake of this land grab were thousands of less hospitable worlds, each potentially rich with industrial resources. The wealth of entire solar systems lies untapped, waiting for corporate survey teams or independent pioneers to discover and exploit them. However, this is not an easy task. In addition to the environmental hazards, the fact that uncharted worlds are largely ignored makes them popular bases for criminals, revolutionaries, cults, and others who wish to remain unnoticed by galactic society.
We will come back to that, because now we also have this. And I will need a break between oh. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. Asari culture. Because of their long lifespan, Asari tend to have a long view, not common in other races. When they encounter new species or situation, the Asari are more comfortable with an extended period of passive observation and study than immediate action. They're unfazed that some of their investments or decisions may not pay off for decades or centuries. Matriarchs can seem to make incomprehensible decisions, but their insight is evident in their carefully laid plans to come to fruition. In interstellar relations, this long view manifests an unspoken policy of centrism. The Asari instinctively seek to maintain stable balances of economic, political, and military power. Traditionally, Asari spread their influence through the cultural domination and intellectual superiority. They invite new species of advanced development to join the galactic community, knowing that their ideals and beliefs will inevitably influence the existing culture. Salarians, League of One. Before they joined the Citadel Council, the Salarians' most potent military tool was a small reconnaissance team known as League of One. Their primary training was in espionage and assassination. Never more than a dozen strong, the team was adept at infiltrating the its defenses and eliminating all necessary obstacles. Only a few top members of government and military were privy to League's identities. League members wore no distinguishing garments and held no particular rank. The only evidence of their participation in the League was a small medallion presented to each member upon induction. This secrecy was maintained until the formation of the Council. In an effort to dispel rumors and appease their new Asari partners, the Solarian Union released all classified documents pertaining to the League. League of One was suddenly exposed and danger of being hunted by enemies of the Solarians. Before any harm could be done, the team mysteriously disappeared. Most assume this was a convenient lie to help hide their identities. But a few moments later, the inner cabinet was murdered. Though there was no incriminating evidence, it was clear who was responsible. Realizing the threat posed by the Rock outfit, the Special Task Group and dispatched a team of hunters. When they didn't return, the SG dispatched 10 of the brightest operators with broad discretionary powers. Only 2 returned. They reported no evidence of the League. No further incidents were reported and it was assumed the League was wiped out. Some recently declassified documents, however, have suggested they may have been 13th member who eluded the Solarian military. Turian's culture. While Turians are individuals with personal desires, their instinct is to equate the self with the group and set aside personal desires for the good of all. Turians are taught to have a strong sense of personal accountability, the Turian honor, that other races find so remarkable. Turians are taught to own every decision they make, good or ill. The worst sin they can make in the eyes of their people is to lie about their own actions. Turians who murder will try to get away with it, but it directly questions, most will confess the crime. Turians have a strong inclination toward public service and self-sacrifice, so they tend to be poor entrepreneurs. To compensate, they accepted the mercantile Volas as a client race, offering protection in exchange for their fiscal expertise. The Turian military is the center of their society. It is not just an armed force, it is an all-encompassing public works organization. The military police are also the civic police. The fire brigades serve the civilian population as well as the military facilities. The corps of engineers build and maintain spaceports, schools, water purification plants, and power stations. The merchant night marine ensures that all worlds indeed get needed resources. Turian's military doctrine. To BH, I don't think my voice can get through most of these today. I will have to leave half for the beginning of the next stream. Although they lack the brutality of the Krogan, the skill of the Asari, and the virtuosity of the humans, the Turian military has formidable discipline. Officers and NCOs are lifers with years of field experience. Enlisted personnel are throughout trained and stay calm and under fire. Turian unit don't break. Even if their entire line collapses, they fall back in order, setting ambushes as they go. A popular saying holds: you will only see a Turian's back once he is dead. Boot camp begins on the 15th birthday. Soldiers receive a year of training before they are assigned to a field unit. Officers train for even longer. Most serve until the age of 30, at which point they become part of the reserves. Even if they suffer injuries preventing frontline service, most do support work behind the lines. Biotics are uncommon. While admired for their extracting skills, biotics motives are not always fully trusted by the common soldier. The Turians prefer to assign their biotics to specialist teams called cabals. Command and control is decentralized and flexible. Individual squads can call for artillery. Ugh. Terrible word for Japanese people. And air support. They make extensive use of combat drones for light duties and practice combined arms. Infantry operates with armor supported by overhead gunships. Strategically, they are methodical and patient, and dislike risky operations. Tradition is important. Each legion has a full-time staff of historians who chronicle the battle honors in detail. The oldest have records dating back to the Turin Iron Age. If a legion is destroyed in battle, it is reconstituted rather than replaced. The Turians recruit auxiliary units from conquered or absorbed minor races. Auxiliaries are generally light infantry or armored cavalry units that screen and support the main Turin formations. At the conclusion of their service in the auxiliaries, recruits are granted Turian citizenship. Turians' the Unification War. At about the time the Salarians and Asari were forming the council, the Turians were embroiled in a bitter civil war. The Unification War, as it was later named, began with hostilities between the colonies furthest from the Turin homeworld, Valor. These colonies were run by local chieftains, many of whom had distanced themselves from the hierarchy. Without the galvanizing influence of the government, the colonies became increasingly isolated and xenophobic. Colonies began wearing emblems of facial markings to differentiate themselves from members of other colonies, and open hostilities became common. When war finally broke out, the hierarchy maintained strict diplomacy and refused to get involved. After several years of fighting, less than a dozen factions remained in the hierarchy finally intervened. By that time, the chieftains were too weak to resist. They were forced to put an end to fighting and renew their allegiance to the hierarchy. Though peace was restored, it took several decades for animosity between colonists to fade completely. To this day, most Turians still wear the facial markings of their home colonies. I was thinking about this. As a point of interest, the Turian term barefaced refers to one who is beguiling or not be trusted, and is also a slang term for politicians. Politicians, of course it is. Protheans, Beacon. The beacon was a Prothean artifact unearthed on Alliance colony of Eden Prime. It resembles the Prothean data banks covered on Mars provoked immediate interest from the Alliance and Citadel Council. It proved to be a solid-state data storage device, part of galaxy-spamming comm network similar to modern extranet. Intact Prothean paleotechnology is rare. The beacon seemed to promise another quantum leap of technology akin to a discovery of mass effect drive and relays. Unfortunately, the beacon also drew attention of the rogue spectre sentinel and his synthetic allies, the Geth. A dawn raid by his flagship Sovereign resulted in hundreds of civilian casualties. The beacon was badly damaged. The motives behind the attack are still being investigated. During the recovery operation, the beacon fired pulse energy at the executive officer of the Alliance frigate Normandy. Lieutenant Commander Shepard survived and appears to have suffered no ill effects. Afterwards, the beacon was held inert. The mechanism appears to be dead. Cipher. The Prothean beacon divulged its knowledge to Lieutenant Commander Shepard and Eden Prime, causing confusing dreams and visions. While the imagery is becoming clear with time, the meaning of the beacon communication remains elusive. It has been suggested that Prothean data recording is highly dependent on a certain point of view, what Carl Jung described as collective unconsciousness. The ciphers needed to comprehend the images implanted in Shepard's mind is the cultural knowledge of the Prothean, the archetypes, the biological instincts, and common experiences and universal to the race. Since the Prothean have been dead for millennia, it may be impossible to acquire this cipher. Data disks. Despite all the evidence confirming the existence of the Protheans, little is known about their culture and society. From time to time, dig sites will yield new clues, but after 50,000 years of decay, little value is unearthed. Recent research has focused on discovery of Prothean data disks. On their own, they are frail and rarely found in one piece. Occasionally, however, an intact disk will be discovered with a console or reading device. To date, over 3,000 disks have been recovered, and a few of those have been restored to the point where researchers can begin analyzing them. Though it may be some time before scientists discover a way to transfer data of the disks, they are currently considered the most tangible leads for learning more about Prothean culture. Let's leave this actually. Human diplomatic relations. Humanity has encountered many galactic species. Wars have been few, but mistrust is rife. Politically, the Alliance is a peaceful trade partner of the Turians. As a practical matter, however, there is simmering antagonism and bigotry between both populations over the First Contact War in 2157. The Alliance enjoys good relations with Asari, though many privately believe the Matriarchs are aristocratic and overcautious. Though humans know better than to unconditionally trust any Solarian, their shared reckless ways make them natural allies against the conservative Turians and Asari. The Krogan have no unified government, but individuals are generally treated as potential criminals, a reputation most Krogan enjoy living down to. The Alliance has no formal contact with the Quarians. Their migrant fleet has not yet passed through any human-settled system. The Batarians are rebels for control of the Skillian Verge. They severed their treaties with the Citadel and prosecute a colonial conflict against the Alliance. Officially, there is no war, but neither is there any peace. Geological survey. As the human race expands its territory and raises the general standard of living, demand for industrial resources continues to grow. Many planets, moons, and asteroids contain a wealth of resources, but many systems have rarely been charted, let alone thoroughly surveyed. Unmanned probes are one solution, but they are often lost in space hazards, unforeseen circumstances, or they're left by salvagers. In recent years, AGES, the Alliance Geological Service, has offered bounties to private individuals or teams willing to perform mineralogical surveys on the frontier. The survey data is made publicly available to further corporate development. Due to the cost of travel and dangers of operating on hostile worlds, it is a rarely profitable endeavor. Light metals. Metals with low atomic weight are often used in construction of spacecraft and vehicles. Heavy metals. Metals with higher atomic weights are used to construct equipment components. The platinum group elements are particularly useful. Rare earth. Most useful materials in this category are radioactives or magnets. Gases. Small letters. Various gases are required to support all known forms of sapient life. Some are commonly used as fuel. Military ranks. The Alliance used a modified version of the ranking system that has been used in hundreds of years. Soldiers are classified to rank and file enlisted personnel, experienced non-commissioned officers, NCOs, and specially trained officers. The divide between naval personnel and ground forces Marines is small. Ground units are a specialized branch of the fleet, just as fighter squadrons are. The unity command is imposed by the futility of fighting without control of orbit. Without the Navy, any army is pointless. The Marines, as a matter of pride, maintain some of their traditional rank titles. For example, Marines have privates and corporals instead of servicemen. In ascending order of responsibility, the ranks of the Alliance are enlisted. Servicemen 3rd class, private 2nd class, servicemen 2nd class, private 1st class, servicemen 1st class, corporal, NCOs, service chief, gunnery chief, operations chief. Officers 2nd lieutenant, 1st lieutenant, staff lieutenant, lieutenant commander, staff commander, captain, major, rear admiral, general, admiral, fleet admiral. Okay. Gagarin Station is the largest deep space station built by humanity. A Bernal sphere designed with a 500-meter diameter habitable area. It was constructed beyond Pluto, nearly 80 astronomical units, 12 billion kilometers from Sol. Moving crew and material in this location bankrupted most of the bankers. Gagarin was placed on the inner edge of the heliopause, the point at which the solar wind can no longer push back the interstellar medium. It was built to test a number of faster-than-light drive principles that theoretically could only occur in interstellar space. The station was nicknamed Jump Zero, as it was intended to be the jumping-off point for humanity's expansion to the galaxy. Shortly after the station was completed, the Prothean ruins were discovered on Mars, rendering the entire effort moot. Too bad. After struggling to make profit for a decade, Gagarin was sold to the System's Line 2159 for a fraction of its construction cost. The Alliance refurbished it as a research and training center for the recently discovered biotic phenomenon. In 2169, the biotic acclimation training program was shut down, and the Gagarin became a general research facility. Its remote location, intentional isolation from the extranet makes it popular for dangerous research, particularly in the field of artificial intelligence. Humanity's first stable AI, the Alliance sponsored Eliza, a chief sapient and Gagarin 2172. I wish we didn't have any AI until 2172. Today, Gagarin Station has a permanent population of approximately 9,000. The planet has proposed to move in a gravitationally stable barycenter point between Pluto and Charon Relay, allowing it to serve the gateway facility between Sol and Arcturus systems. The high cost of safely removing its mass has delayed its definitely. Ow. New space travelers ask, what does it look like outside a ship moving faster than light speed? Part of the answer can be seen as a simple plane of glass. Light travels slower through glass than it does through the open air. Light also moves slower in conventional speed than it does in a high-speed mass effect field. This causes refraction. Any light entering at an angle is bent and separated into a spectrum. Objects outside of ship will appear refracted. The greater the distance between the object of exterior and subjective interior speeds of light, the greater the refraction. As the subjective speed of light is raised within the field, objects outside will appear to redshift, eventually becoming visible only to radio telescope antenna. High energy electromagnetic resources normally hidden to eye become visible in the high blue spectrum. As the speed of light continues to be raised, X-ray, gamma ray, and eventually cosmic ray sources become visible. Stars will become replaced by pulsars and a creation of disks of black holes, quasars, and gamma ray bursts. To an outside observer, a ship within a Mass Effect drive envelope appears blue shifted. If within a field that allows travel at twice of the speed of light, any radiation emits has twice energy as normal. If the ship is in a field about 200 times light speed, it radiates visible light as X-rays and gamma rays, and infrared heat from the hollow blue shifted up into the visible spectrum of higher. Ships moving FTL are visible at great distances, but their signature will only propagate at the speed of light. I think you can only be impressed with how much effort went into developing all these systems, creating all this lore, justifying the sci-fi background. I don't know if the writers took either sci-fi books as a reference for this, but still. Biotic training. Biotic implants and amplifiers only provide the potential to create coherent mass effect fields. Whether biotics can actually do so is largely determined by their training. Biotics must develop conscious control over their nervous systems, sending specific electrical impulses to them on zero modules embedded in their nerves. They are taught to use their implants and amps with biofeedback devices and physical mnemonics. Specific gestures or muscle movements fire the proper sequence of nerves to activate a certain skill. Kinetics Industries pioneered biotic training with the Biotic Acclimation Temperance Training Program. Although BAT did not achieve the desired results, many techniques taught are still used today. Many human think tanks are trying to develop some form of super soldier. Most are benign efforts to create more flexible troops. Others, less publicly known, are unapologetic attempts to create Nietzschean Superman. Communications. Didn't read this. with the administration. Real-time communication is possible thanks to networks of extensive mass relay combos that can daisy-chain a transmission via lasers. Combos are maintenance patterns built outward from each mass relay. The buoys are little more than a cluster of primitive miniature mass relays. Each individual buoy is connected to a partner on another buoy in the network, forming a corridor of low mass space. 10-beam communication lasers are piped through these tubes to dovetail space, allowing virtual instantaneous communication to anywhere on the network. The network connects across regions by communication lasers through the mass relays. With this system, the only communication delay is the light lag between the source destination and the closest buoy. So long as parties remain within half a light second, 150,000 kilometers of buoys, seamless real-time communication are possible. Since buoys are maintained in all traveled areas, must enjoy unlimited instant communication. Ships only suffer communication lag when operating off established deep space routes around uninhabited outer system gas giants and other unsettled areas. During wartime, buoys networks are first targets of attack. Once the network is severed, it can take anywhere from weeks or years to get a message out of a contested system. In systems where a buoy network has not yet been built or has been destroyed, rapid communication means ferrying information through high-speed courier ships and unmanned data drones. And I will leave the rest for tomorrow. Next stream. Let me save. And I think this is where I'm gonna leave you for today. It's been good 6 hours. It's the sleep time. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye, bye bye. おつ。ありがとうございました。Bye bye.